Razer just released their new controller, being the Wolverine V3 Pro 8K for PC. Yes, this is Razer's first 8,000 polling rate controller, and it is wireless. But first, let's go and take a look over the box, and I'll show you what you get inside your box. Then we'll talk more about the specs. But first off, looking over the box, some of the specs, as I just mentioned, 8,000 polling rate wireless. It does have TMR thumbsticks, which you can dive into a deep research about standard thumbsticks, Hall effect, and now TMR, which is kind of becoming the norm. And then on the back of this controller, you have mouse clicks, which I'll let you listen to here shortly. On the back side, again, just more specs. So let's get into the juicy stuff. Let's go on and unbox this and see what you get inside. As you can see, your controller, it does come in this hard case right here, really nice and hard. So if you use it for travel, that's gonna be good. Right here is your cable, which is USB-A to C. Very firm and braided, so very durable cable. But let's go on and get to the goods here as far as the controller. Again, it does come in this hard case. And again, it is hard. It's not flexing on me here. You have this seal or the zipper coming around the side. Open it up, you see you got this little pocket up here if you want to get your cable tucked in there if you want. And then here's our controller. We have two swappable thumbsticks here, which, man, they're in there super tight. You have a taller one and then a shorter domed one here. Let's see if I can get those pressed back in. Razer branding right on the bottom. And then here is your dongle, which is a USB-A dongle. And that tucks right into the case right here if you press it down. So again, that stuff is not budging. But anyways, let's go on and take a look at the controller here. And then I'll talk a little bit more about the specs and dive into it a little bit deeper. But as you can see, the style is kind of similar to a lot of the previous. Now, you all know I'm not a big spec junkie when it comes to tech. I'm more like a user's experience, kind of what I'm going to talk about here a lot. But if you do like those specs, make sure to go check out my man, Gamer Heaven. I mean, he dives deep into controllers, so hopefully he's going to cover this as well. But anyways, talking about my user's experience, that's what I want to focus on here. And number one, ergonomics. Like getting this thing in the hand, oh my goodness, it is so cozy. You just see those plump grips on the side, and yes, by the way, kind of got like that rubber texture up here and down on the bottom, and it just feels so good in the hand. It like sits into your palm right there, like, whew. I really like the ergonomics of the Razer Wolverine controllers. And by the way, just to let you know, like if you used an Xbox controller, kind of similar, but expect these little palm grips right down here to be a little shorter. Like say if you shave those off, that's almost like what the Razer one feels like, you know? And I think that's mainly because the Xbox ones are a little bit sharper coming out there. Now, if we compare it to the PlayStation, I would say maybe the plumpness as the PlayStation controller comes out a little bit more, it would feel like that, but still these are a bit longer. Over here with the Razer one, again, it's just really short, so it kind of sits into your hand rather than say like the PlayStation or Xbox one, it fits all the way down onto your hand. So hopefully that comparison of some standard controllers, even though we're talking about PC here, really resonates and you can see what they feel like or hear what they feel like. But the biggest thing is the weight of this controller. This is really cool because this thing is incredibly lightweight. Razer states it's their lightest controller ever. So let's go to set it on my scale. I got to set it upside down so it stays on there. And we are getting 218.8 grams. Like, oh my goodness, this thing is incredibly lightweight. So again, 218 over here. Let's go and check a PlayStation 1. We are getting 280, and then as far as an Xbox One, we are going to get 248. So as you can see, this one is lighter, and yes, it feels significantly lighter than say a PlayStation or an Xbox One as well, with all the features and functions packed onto it, which I want to talk about now. But I want to talk about the buttons and controls. Number one, your XYAB over here, right? We're kind of used to that on controllers, but the cool thing, even with Razers, you got the Mecha Tactile. Mecha Tactile, am I saying that right? Their buttons, same as they used before, very crispy and tactile to the point, but now they're actually using PBT keycaps, kind of like you're used to on keyboards. Now, they aren't extremely grainy like some keycaps, but again, it's just really nice. You feel that premium feel on these. Coming over to the D-pad, you got that clicky bit like they've used before. It's not my favorite. I kind of like that standard, just kind of, I don't know if I want to say mushy, but just a press and to the point type of D-pad. This one's just incredibly clicky all the way around. I can give you a listen here in a second. Now, as far as the thumbsticks, as I mentioned, they are removable. They just clip in with that little ball joint on there, kind of like with the previous Wolverine controllers as well. You get those two replacements as I showed you in the box as well. Now, they are using the TMR thumbstick sticks, which are supposed to be a little bit more accurate. I know they're kind of newer, getting implemented in a lot of controllers these days, going from Hall effect. The thing I've read about these is they're supposed to preserve battery life or use less power. So that's pretty cool. Again, if they're more accurate or whatever, or less drift, let me know down in the comments. Hall effect or TMR, big difference, big benefit. Let us know in the comments. Now, coming to the back of the controller, you see you got that crazy claw grip. Razer shows people using it like this or something. Huh? Like that's nuts. But anyways, up here with your M1 and M2, you actually got like those mouse type clicks as well. Very nice and crispy to the point. Now, as far as your bumpers, kind of standard, kind of clicky to the point. Your triggers, they are regular press down, but you can get your stops right on the back like we've seen before. And then you have your mouse press right there. So it's just a clicky, tactile press right to the point there. You're kind of getting that vibe. The D-pad, the buttons over here with your buttons on the back. If you decide to get the stops right there, then they can go regular. Now coming to the back, you have your buttons, your paddles on the back. And what I really like that they did on the Wolverine run here, other than them being actual mouse side buttons, like if you're used to on the Death Adder, exact same side buttons that they have there, they have on the backs right here. And let me tell you what, these are crispy and right to the point, like minimal press. Bam, and they're down. And there's no play afterwards either. Like really nice. And you can see, you kind of got a little, what did you call? Little ridges in there, little perforations to kind of give you a little grip. It's not rubber coated like the grips on the outside. It's actually plastic. But the coolest thing is it just sits in your hand perfectly. I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera, but you got the back buttons. And when my hand grips it, it just falls into place. Let me see if I can get a better shot here. So again, my fingers, I grip the controller and it sits right there. And it's not sitting down on the bottom part where it kind of flares out a bit. It's actually going right into those grooves. So I'm not catching myself accidentally pressing them back there whenever I'm gaming. Like, I really like how they implemented back here. Now I do have one issue on my buttons over here, and I don't know if this is just my copy or if it's across multiples. That's with my A button. Whenever I press it forward, it actually sticks. So I can pull it right there, and I doubt the camera can see it. But anyways, it's kind of stuck back there. So then when I press it down, it almost goes forward and then back down, if that makes sense. So I go back and it holds its position back there. Then I can press it forward, it locks out of it. Again, I doubt the camera can even pick it up. Right there, it's locked back. I'll just tap it, bam, and it goes back forward. Now, that doesn't happen on any other button here. It's just my A. And whenever I'm gaming, I'll notice it. Like if I'm sliding down and then it clicks forward, it's just a little annoying thing. So hopefully that is just my copy. Now I want to go and show you Synapse software and the customization you can do with the Wolverine V3 Pro. But first off, I want to show you something pretty cool in the manual here. Number one, as you see, you can adjust the buttons, the back paddles on the controller itself. You don't have to use the software. But the thing I really like are the shortcuts over here. As you see, you got your little function button, you got up and down or whatever. So for myself, again, function button right down here on the bottom, you can press that. You can go up and down and then just adjust the volume right on your PC. I wish we could dive into that and customize that a little bit more, but Unfortunately, you can't, which I'll show you in the software. And by the way, there is no 3.5 jack on this controller. So with Synapse loaded up, we're going to select our Wolverine V3 Pro 8K, and you're seeing all of the goodies here. So number one, you're going to catch the polling rate, right? All the way up to 8,000. Now, I never use 8,000 even on my gaming mice. I pretty much stick to 4,000, even though it's hard to tell 4,000 from 1,000, or even, you know, these 15-year-old kids that say 8,000 is the way to go. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. So I don't know, preserve some battery life, keep it down to 1,000 if you want. I keep mine at 4,000 just because the tech's on there, and why not utilize it? You know what I mean? Anyways, coming over here, you can see you got your D-pad 4-way or 8-way, so you can get that middle press, or again, just the 4 ways right there. I leave it on 8 ways because that's what I prefer. You have different profiles, which again, it's showing you over here, the function button, and then which button, so you can cycle different profiles. Really cool. So if you got like a racing or FPS and then a fighting game, you can cycle it through right on the controller. Really like that. That is this button right down here. This little circle, how I showed you, I just adjusted the volume. That's your function button. So as you see, you can't customize that right there. So anyways, going to what you can customize are your M1, M2, right over here. You got keyboard functions, basic stuff that you used to there, controller, then you can adjust it to any of those buttons. But what we're going to focus on here in a second are the sensitivity clutches for left and right. We'll get into that here in a second. That's on the back, our back paddles right there that you can customize, and then the share button. This is kind of what I wish you can customize a little bit more. So default, it is set to the share button, obviously, right? But you got the basics, keyboard functions, controller. What I kind of wish is like there were more audio functions, which I guess you can, right? Maybe you can go into, what is it? I don't know, a key recording and record like function something to mute. I don't know. Then that's going to be on your keyboard as well. But I wish it was just a simple like multimedia functions like mute my audio or mute my microphone. I think that would just be cool. I think that would be a cool little touch. But again, it's the share button default. I don't really use that. Coming here to the back, again, you can set these to whatever you want. Oh, going over to your controller, set them to whatever button you want right on the back. And then as far as the top, coming over here, back you have your thumbsticks calibration. So if you move it, you can see where you're actually sitting right there. This is stock out of the box and it's pretty much right on. I didn't notice any issues with it over there. Circularity mode, whatever, right? Prevent double dead zones. I left this on just again because tech that's on there, so why not utilize it, you know? This is something I never really utilized. But what I want to focus on more is this sensitivity clutch right here. So let's go ahead and select it, and you're going to see it's going to say assign sensitivity clutch. It gives you a really quick video here, but I'll show you a little briefer how to do it. We go over to customize, and you can see they're disabled out of the gate right here. You got the M1 and M2. So let's go and select one. We'll go to controller, tab all the way down, and we have our right sensitivity clutch, save it, and you can set to what you want right there. The level, so you got up to 10 to off. We'll just put it at 8 just for the sake of testing. But right sensitivity clutch, that's gonna be for our right stick. Then we're gonna go to left, controller, we'll go to left sensitivity clutch. Again, we'll set it to 8, save it, and again, that's gonna be for our left stick. So let's go back to thumbstick. We're gonna click on sensitivity clutch, and you can see that video's gone now that we have it enabled. So watch this right here. I'm gonna control the right stick, and you're gonna see, and it kind of gives you a brief summary right here. So here's me moving the right stick, just regular old gaming. But if I hit my M2 button, that button right up top here now, so I'm gonna hold it, and you can see, right there, you got that sensitivity clutch, so it's going to lock you down a little bit more. I'm going to let it go all the way back to 100%. I can press it, and it's back. So again, if you kind of want, we'll see what the difference is. So 1, right down. Holy smoke. So it really brings you down pretty close. So definitely the lower is the tighter. So you can see right there, 50%. And then if we go up here to, let's get it up to 10. I wonder if that's going to be max. Yes, that's all the way up to 100%. So again, if you don't want your thumbsticks to have to go all the way out, bam, you can have them right there. That is what sensitivity clutch is right there. It is not something I use. So again, I just disable it and don't mess with it at all. But the cool thing is, again, you can set those top buttons to say something else on the controller if you want. So I think we went over everything on the thumbsticks here. Coming up to power, kind of basic stuff. When do you want it to shut down to save battery life? And then you have calibrate as far as your left and right thumbstick. With my time using it, never had to mess with it because it's been perfectly fine. Okay, so now that we had a good look over of this controller, I want to talk about my conclusion, but I also want some feedback from you guys. So stick through this right here, right? By the way, one thing I want to apologize is how I didn't talk about battery life for this controller. There's no information anywhere, not on my reviewer's guide, not on the box. I don't see anything about battery life here. On the back of the controller, it does say 900 milliamps. So what does that equate to with the TMR thumbsticks and your polling rate? If you're running 1,000 or you're running 8,000, obviously that's going to affect it. I'll contact my PR rep and get some feedback. Once I get an answer, I'll pin it in the comments down below. But as far as the controller itself, where I need your guys' help, number one, straight to the point, this controller's $200. So it's up there in that elite controller type of class, you know. Now they are going to offer a wired version, which I believe is $120. But again, it's wired. I think nowadays, 2025, we want all of our stuff to be wireless. And right along with that, another thing I forgot to mention is there is no haptics. There's no vibration in this controller, which probably helps out with that weight. I do like everything implemented into this. I love the feel of the PBT buttons. I think this is like the first controller I've used with PBT buttons. The thumbsticks feel great. The back buttons are just implemented so awesome. It just feels like a really good controller. The thing that throws me off here a little bit is not even so much the controller, but with it being a PC esports focused controller. You all know me and like products geared towards esport. Like, let's focus it as gaming, not esports, you know? But anyways, we all know the paddles, the buttons, the 8K, right? That's more for that high-end competitive, even though I never use it on my products. But what I need your guys' help from with a product like this, like it's probably geared more towards like that FPS type player. So if you're playing FPS at your PC, at your desk, are you using mouse and keyboard or are you using a controller, right? That kind of throws me off. Like, if I'm sitting at my desk playing FPS, no matter what FPS it is, it's keyboard and mouse all day long. I can't aim for squat with the controller. But if I do play a story game, which I play a lot of them, whether it be at my desk or my consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, it is always a controller. I don't like playing story games with keyboard and mouse. Let me know what you guys use when you play competitive games on your PC at your desk. Are you using a controller, and does this stuff justify it? Or do you want keyboard and mouse?